Line judges are a very important part of the volleyball officiating crew. They assist the first referee by judging plays outside the referee's view or in which the referee's position makes it impossible to judge. The line judges are referred to as assistant officials. This is because they assist the first referee in making decisions and they have a specific list of calls on which they may offer an opinion. For instance, a line judge may not signal when they see what they believe to be an illegal hit or make a four hits call. The first referee has the authority to consider calls made by the line judges and make the final decision. Although referred to as assistant officials, they are a part of the officiating crew. If any team member disrespectfully addresses a line judge, the line judge is to report it to the first referee during the next dead ball, and it must be penalized as an unsportsmanlike act. One of the duties of the first referee is to meet with the line judges before each match to review their duties and the signals they are to use. The line judges should be trained before arriving at the match. This is the responsibility of the host school. The meeting between the first referee and the line judges is to serve only as a review and not in-depth training. Each state association has the authority to decide whether or not the line judges in their state will use flags. In reviewing the line judges' duties, it is helpful to use the acronym FLATS. This stands for feet, lines, antennas, touches, and stand. We will now review each element individually. Feet. This refers to the server and the service area. The service area is bound by the outer edge of the end line, the outside edges of the sideline extensions, and the end of playable area. When the serve is contacted, the server's feet must be within the service area. If the player is airborne, we consider only where his or her feet were last in contact with the floor. The server may be outside the service area at the beginning or during the approach, but both feet must be entirely within the service area when the ball is contacted. The server may not leave playable area at any time during the approach. When the server is positioned near the right boundary of the service area, the line judge on the opposite end of the court must judge if the server was outside the service area when the serve is contacted. In this play, the server jumps and makes contact with the ball while above the end line and lands in the court. Since her feet were entirely inside the service area when she left the floor, this is legal. These are the signals used by the line judges to indicate a foot fault. If flags are used, the flag is waved overhead with one hand while using the index finger of the other hand to point to the line on which the violation occurred. When flags are not used, the index finger of one hand is used to point to the line on which the violation occurred. The other hand may be waved overhead if needed to get the attention of a referee. Lines. Each line judge is responsible for one sideline and one end line. They are responsible for the entire length of these boundary lines. When the ball hits the floor, if any part of the ball touches the boundary line, the ball is to be ruled in. If the ball lands outside the boundary and no part of the ball touches the boundary line, the ball is to be ruled out. In this picture, the ball is partially on the boundary line and partially outside the boundary line. It should be ruled in. The ball in this photo is partially over the line, but is not touching the boundary. It should be ruled out. Remind the line judges that when they recognize the ball may land near one of their boundary lines, that they shift their focus to the line and watch where the ball hits instead of following the ball. If the line judge is focused on the ball, their eyes will continue with the ball after it bounces and will increase the chance that they may misjudge a close call. When the ball lands near a corner where no line judge is stationed, each line judge should signal based on their line. If either line judge signals out, the ball should be ruled out. The line judge should also signal out when a ball touches the ceiling or overhead obstruction outside of the first referee's view in its flight over the net. If a line judge knows that the ball contacted the floor when a player attempts a pancake, the line judge is to give the in signal. The signals used by line judges to signal when the ball is in are demonstrated here. With flags, the flag is pointed down toward the court. Without flags, the line judge extends both hands with palms open toward the court. When the ball is judged to be out, line judges using flags raise their flags straight up with the arm fully extended, while line judges not using flags will raise both arms so that their upper arms are parallel to the floor with the forearms at a 90-degree angle and their hands open toward the face. When a line judge is unable to determine if the ball is in or out, a line judge using flags will cross their arms in front of their chest with the flag held toward the shoulder. A line judge not using flags will cross their arms with palms open toward the chest. Antenna. The line judges typically have the best angle to judge whether or not the ball is entirely within the antennas when it passes over the net. The line judges should be reminded that they are responsible for watching both antennas, not just the one on their sideline. Depending on the angle, the line judge on the opposite side may be the only one to be able to judge whether the ball is entirely within the antennas. As with any call, the line judge should not guess. If they are not certain that the ball is out, they should not signal and play should be allowed to continue. Unfortunately, when the ball is played at an angle toward a corner without a line judge, it is up to the first referee and second referee to make this judgment. When the ball hits any part of the antenna or is judged to have crossed the net above or outside the antenna, a line judge using flags will raise the flag with one hand, waving above their head while pointing at the appropriate antenna with the index finger of the other hand. A line judge not using flags will use the same signal as a ball judged out of bounds. If there is the possibility that the first referee is unsure as to the team that caused the antenna fault, the line judge may offer a secondary signal to indicate the team at fault. To indicate a fault by the team in the near court, the line judge will extend their right arm straight out above the end line. To indicate a fault by the team in the far court, the line judge will extend their left arm straight out above the sideline. The line judges should also remain alert for the antenna not being aligned over the outer edge of the sideline. If the antenna needs to be adjusted, the line judge should get the attention of the nearest referee during a dead ball and help in getting the antenna back into position. Touches. A touch can occur off an attempted block or any other attempt to play the ball. When a player touches a ball, which then lands out of bounds on the player's side of the net, the line judge should signal the touch. A line judge may signal a touch on either team. To signal a touch, a line judge using a flag will hold the flag in front of their body with the staff perpendicular to the floor and place the palm of their other hand on the end of the staff to form a T. A line judge not using a flag will hold the hand on the offending team's side open at head height with the palm toward the face and brush it once using the open palm of the other hand. The touch signal should be given only when the ball lands out of bounds on the same side of the net where it was last touched. In this clip, the ball is blocked out of bounds and it's obvious that the attacking team did not touch the ball after the block. The line judge at the right side of the screen is incorrectly signaling touch. This could cause confusion if there was a question as to whether or not the ball was touched on its way out. Since the ball did not land near his line and it was not touched on its way out of bounds, the line judge to the right should not give any signal. Stand. This element refers to where the line judges will stand during play, timeouts, and intermissions. The line judges are assigned their positions by the first referee. They hold these positions relative to the court throughout the match. During play, the line judges stand at the intersection of the sideline and end line for which they are responsible. When facing the court, the end line will be to the line judge's right. During a rally, the line judge must move if play comes near them or be in the best position to see a play, such as getting a better angle on an antenna call or getting a straight-on view of a line before the ball hits. Here we see a good example of the line judge keeping the end line in view while moving to avoid a collision with the player pursuing the ball. If the ball remains in play, the line judge must promptly return to their position while continuing to avoid interfering with play. When using a flag, the flag should be held in a neutral position with the handle in one hand and the tip of the flag in the other. The line judge must remain attentive and the flag should not be waved around. When not using flags, the line judge should hold their hands in front of them, at their sides, or behind their backs. If at any time the line judge needs to get the attention of a referee, they will wave their flag or their open hand overhead as shown. When the server is in the left third of the service area, the line judge on that corner must move to a position outside the peripheral vision of the server and in line with the end line, holding their position until the ball is served. We do not want the line judge to move diagonally in an attempt to see both lines. From that location, they're not in a position to see either line on a close call. After the ball is served, the line judge must move promptly back to their position. When the server is not in the near third, the line judge should remain in their normal position. In this clip, the server is in the near third of the service area. When the court is centered on a basketball court, the free throw lane line can be used as a guide as to whether or not the line judge should move. Once the ball is served, the line judge returns to his position and is ready to make the call when the ball hits the floor. During a timeout, the line judge is moved to the intersection of the attack line and the sideline near the first referee on their respective half of the court. The line judges should follow the boundary lines in making their way to the timeout positions. This can also be an opportunity for the first referee to discuss any issue or play which has occurred. Unless ball shaggers are used, the line judge on the serving team's side is responsible for holding the game ball during the timeout. The line judges should follow the court boundaries to their timeout positions, rolling their flags along the way. The line judge to the first referee's right should hold their position until the other line judge turns the corner on the opposite end of the court. At the end of the timeout, the line judges again follow the court boundaries to their positions, with the line judge on the first referee's right holding their position until the other line judge turns the corner at the end line. The line judges should not chase the balls, but should roll the ball to the next server if it is near them. They should not, however, kick the ball to anyone, as this sets a bad example for the players. At the end of each set, the line judges may need to assist the referees in retrieving the game ball and ensuring it is returned to the scorer's table. Line judges should hold their positions until the teams have finished exchanging sides. Host management should provide a neutral place such as the scorer's table for the line judges to go during intermissions. If no neutral place is designated, they should report to their timeout positions. Under no circumstances should they go into the stands or sit on a team bench. As you can see, the line judges serve an important role in the match. A supporting comment or gesture by the first referee, especially after a close call, is encouraged. Competent line judges go a long way in making the match run smoother.